Today we're talking about something special. It's this screen right here. It's a 38-inch ultra-wide screen from ViewSonic that's built for creators. I think it's super important to have a good editing setup for content creators. Now, for some of you, that might just be your laptop, but for a lot of us, we want to have somewhere at our home, at our office, where we can go to create the content after we're out shooting. So having a desk like this, somewhere that you can go and you can just be creative and just work is something that's super important. And for me, it's something that I think is super important. I've been spending a lot of time getting my whole desk office set up to this point because it's taken a lot of time to kind of figure out all the components, figure out what works well, figure out how I want to do all of this so that I can be more creative and I can focus more on the content that I'm creating rather than getting bogged down by like the process and the colors and things like that. So that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about this ViewSonic ultra-wide 38-inch screen. The ViewSonic VP3881 is the best choice when it comes to professional grade monitors. It's a 38-inch IPS monitor with a resolution of 3840 by 1600 that's packed with 6 million pixels in an immersive extra-large curved screen. It has the ability to decode HDR10 signals, which gives you brighter colors and richer contrast. You can connect any of your devices using HDMI, DisplayPort, or USB-C. Not only is it super functional, but it has a very modern look and is perfect for my clean, minimalist editing setup. But not only is it ultra wide, it's also curved, which is amazing for editing. This is my first curved screen that I've ever worked with. And before this, I used to use two screens side by side, two really large screens. I had 4K monitors. However, you do have that division in the middle between the two screens. And that's something to me that really bothered me over time. Having more real estate to do editing and to create content is important because you're just moving things around on your desktop. It's a space for you to just kind of pull things around and move and see the content that you're creating, especially when you're in something like Final Cut. You want to be able to move around your space. You want to be able to see all your footage over here, see the content, see the clarity, the shots, whatever it is that you're creating, and then have an entire view of your timeline down below. And you can see with a 38-inch curved ultra-wide screen, you have all of your timeline down at the bottom, and that's massive. You can see everything that you need to see, and you're not pushed into like a little window trying to move stuff around. When I'm on the road traveling, I edit on my laptop. And it gets really annoying because you have to like close windows down, you have to like move stuff around so you can see your timeline, then go back to your viewers. And it's just a more tedious process to create the content because you're constantly shifting around your windows. Whereas when you have a big space to work from, you can have everything open on your screen at once and be thinking more about the story or more about the content itself rather than the workspace you're working in. So when I was using two screens, my issue was that not only did I have connection issues, I would plug in my laptop and once in a while one of the screens wouldn't work or there'd be some weird connection issue and I'd have to figure out where the issue was in the whole system. Whereas having one screen, you plug it in, you're good to go. Less hassle, less to deal with, and there's no seam in the middle. And the seam in the middle, even though like you can see both screens, there's something in your brain that just like tells you that there's something wrong when you're looking at a seam all the time because you're working on either side of that split. I wanted to get a monitor that would be seamless, obviously just a single widescreen monitor that I could do all my work on, make my whole workflow easier. So now I'm using the ViewSonic 38-inch widescreen, and it's amazing because the screen is not only curved and big and ultra wide and all that good stuff, but this was actually designed for creators. It's designed for you and me. It's designed for people who create content where you need to see like the true colors of what it is that you're getting. Color is super important, and this monitor is set up to be calibration ready. I know that's one of the things that you just have to do as a colorist if you're working with color grading and just working with a lot of like raw footage or log footage. You need to be able to color grade your footage. So this is calibration ready, which means that you can calibrate it to get the colors as accurate as possible. And also with that, this monitor has a lot of built-in controls that allow you to change the color and work with your colors. So you could tweak it to get the best look out of it as you're editing, and so you can get your monitor looking exactly how you need it to when you're color grading your footage. Another thing that's really nice about this monitor is that all your controls are right on the right-hand side of the monitor. So if you ever need to make a quick adjustment for, say, your colors or your brightness or any of that, then you can just reach around to the right and all of your controls are easily accessible. It's easy to switch between your menus. And something that I use often is I'll switch between RGB mode when I'm editing photography, and then I'll switch to Rec 709 when I'm editing video. And just having that control on the side makes it super easy to switch between them. And also just adjusting my brightness depending on what time of day it is and how I'm viewing the screen, if there's lots of light in the room or if there's no light in the room. It's important to have those kind of controls easily accessible right there on the side of the monitor. Personally, it's one of the best looking monitors that I have seen in terms of like contrast, colors, all that good stuff. Just right out of the box, when I put this monitor on my desk, I plugged it in, I was just trying it out, I was watching some 4K footage, and I was completely blown away. Rachel called me from the other room, she's just like, what are you doing in there? Because obviously I turned the music up loud, I was watching these videos, and I was like, you gotta check this out. And it just like sucks you in because the resolution is so good, and it's just such a clear screen. It's something that I think ViewSonic has done very well. They've created an awesome monitor for creators. So guys, I highly suggest checking it out. I'll put a link down below in the description, like I said. If you have any questions at all about this monitor, if you wanna know how certain things work, or if you wanna know how things look, put it down in the comments below, and guys, I'll get back to you, because I do think that this is a solid selection if you're looking for a new monitor this year. Now, I know some of you out there are like, well, this is a sponsored video, so he's just got paid to say these things, and that's not true. ViewSonic reached out to me, they asked me to do a review of this monitor. They sent me one to try out, and guys, honestly, I do think that this is an amazing monitor. I have spent the last 3 days tearing apart my entire desk, redoing the undercarriage and everything that I had underneath so that I could get rid of the 2 old monitors, put this monitor on here, and basically reconfigured so it made my setup that much easier. This monitor has USB-C, it's got HDMI, it's got display ports, so depending on what connection that you have or what you want to work with, it's got all the options in the back of the monitor. I'm using the USB-C right now just directly out of my MacBook Pro. So I've got my MacBook Pro all set up in a rack system over here with my hard drives and all that, and the only thing that I'm bringing over to my desk now is my one USB-C and my power cable for this monitor. So it makes it super simple, whereas I can keep all my stuff in the rack that I've built for my laptop and everything over there, bring a couple cables over to my desk here, and I have a very nice workspace without a lot of clutter. And guys, I know some of you are interested about just the workspace as a whole, and I'm gonna do a video. Basically, it walks you through every piece, not just the monitor, but I definitely wanted to do this video about the monitor because I've had a lot of questions of what monitor I'm using and what I use to create my content. And this, hands down, is my favorite monitor that I've worked with so far, and they're not paying me to say this. This is something that I actually truly believe. Now I'll put a link in the description to this monitor so you guys could check it out. And as a creator, a monitor is a super important part of your workflow. So I highly suggest if you're looking at changing your setup, upgrading your setup, this would be the one that I would say go get because of how easy it is to work with, how clear the screen is, and just it looks amazing.